Anti-derivative Jill.
Theorizing that one could travel within his own lifetime, Dr. Sam Beckett stepped into the quantum leap accelerator and vanished. He woke to find himself trapped in the past, facing mirror images that were not his own, driven by an unknown force to change history for the better. His only guide on this journey is Al, an observer from his own time, who appears in the form of a hologram that only Sam can see and hear. And so Dr. Beckett finds himself leaping from life to life, striving to put right what once went wrong, and hoping each time that his next leap will be the leap home.
Anti-Derivative Jill is proud to present In the Loop, a quantum leap celebration. I am Scotty R37, whom will be corresponding with Gushy and Ziggy. This week, Sam is left under the big top to swing on the wild trapeze. You see, he has to make sure that his sister gets caught from her triple so that she doesn't die. It'll make sense. They're Hungarian. Then Sam leaps into a bouncer named Buster who helps a stripper named Bunny. They kidnap a baby named Christy. It's Raising Arizona in 1963. We're back to Quantum Leap, Jill.
Yeah, we are back to Quantum Leap. We trudged through the forest of something.
I have Swiss cheese brain.
A zombie murder Star Trek, and we're back to Quantum Leap.
Oh, man. It is so good to be able to watch and just know that I'm going to feel good for the next, 2 episodes. And it's going to be like, yay, Sam and Al doing things, making things right. This is going to be great. And it is. Right. This was a very science fiction light week.
No, there was no science fiction. But you know what? I do typically love my science fiction. This does have a science fiction premise behind it. And if I could have an Al interconnected into my neurons, that could be fun. As I travel through time. But yeah, we don't really talk too much about all that stuff in these episodes. And the first one is called Leaping In Without a Net.
Yes. And okay.
I guess that's what we're doing tonight because we're usually not here on my channel. We're usually on the Phantasmagorium channel.
You know, we had a leak in the basement and the pilot light was out, so we had to leave for a little while. We're getting it renovated and we're coming back. The In the Loop will probably be on the Phantasmagorium show soon. But thank you so much for letting me crash on your couch as we do the show from here this week.
Yeah, no, it's really cool to be talking about this show again. I really missed it.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm glad that right now we're looking down the barrel of the end of season 2, which has a really good next week we're gonna get a really good Al episode. This is sort of like as we're getting to the end of the season, these are the sort of late season episodes that are just sort of coasting us to the end, but the end of season 2, the last 2 episodes are actually quite good, quite strong, which we don't find out about at the end of Maybe Baby, because it's a leap into a season 1 episode. Yeah. When he's the Lothario professor.
Yeah, that's weird. Well, that's been happening for the last several episodes where at the very end of the episode, we leap into a rerun. So they've been leaping the episodes into reruns because next week, I guess they're not going to have a new episode. So I guess they skip weeks.
Right. That makes sense. That does make sense. But we did get to see this intro for Leaping In Without a Net at the end of the last episode. And we got Sam hanging upside down about to catch another trapeze artist.
Well, that's his job anyway. He doesn't quite make that. But yes. This episode first aired on March 28th, 1990. It was written by Tommy Thompson and directed by Christopher Welch. And this is Tommy's first script. He's going to write 14 more episodes for Quantum Leap.
Wow.
We're going off with Steven Spielberg to help showrun Sequest.
Really? Wow. Yeah. That's cool. Did you ever watch Sequest?
No, I haven't, but I've heard some about it from people who like it. Have you?
I only caught it vaguely when it first came out. I didn't follow it as much. I'm surprised. I think it had 2 or 3 seasons. at least. And so I was surprised that it had that much, but that's good for him. I'm glad that he went on to work with the dolphin.
A dolphin. Yeah. See, I need to watch Sequest so I can even understand your references. I have no idea.
Oh, there's a dolphin in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe you.
Cool.
Matt G says yes.
Hey, Matt G.
And Bird of Prey 5 says kapla.
Kapla.
And hello to LDG.
Howdy. Ahoy.
Thanks for helping me out. I was a little late because I forgot to add a background and everything because this is a new show on my show, even though it's an old show.
It's great. I'm just excited to be doing it again. Gorilla.
Me too. I'm way more excited than I should be. It's unbelievable. Gorilla's Random Thought says, hey everyone. Also, Jill, did you see Pickles was trying to get a hold of you? Oh no, I didn't know that. I guess I'll check in with them later. Thank you, Gorilla. And Captain Infinity says, if time travel is impossible, I'm supposing he means impossible.
Oh, there's a follow-up.
Then time travel stories are surely science fantasy. You're right. Okay, this is a science fantasy show. I will agree with you there.
Yeah, I agree. That is Quantum Leap. It is science fantasy, yes.
No kidding. And they definitely play around with the fantasy elements of that. I wish they'd tried these episodes, but these are still really cute and sweet.
Wait, no, I want to go back to Gorilla. Gorilla's Random Thought says, I'm guessing Scott got a strike. Laugh out loud. I wish we were that popular.
Yeah,
no,
that
no
would
strike.
be a lot more fun, right?
It would be. I'd be able to complain.
Yeah, then you got into trouble, and we get to campaign free Scotty.
Yeah, it was only a couple of flipper babies. No.
What?
Nothing. It's a quote from Brain Candy, just so I'm not being completely rude.
Okay. And Captain Infinity says, I remain blissfully ignorant of the difference between hard and soft science fiction. Well, you're absolutely right to call it science fantasy. It doesn't even hit. Like, maybe some episodes hit the science fiction, but I haven't seen one in a while.
And Gorilla says...
Found her. She got the message.
You're like yelling across an intersection. I found her.
Here she is right here. She's live. She can't go anywhere now. We sent the message.
Exactly.
Hey, Sean Carter.
Sean Carter, how do you do?
And hello, Pop Culture Curator. So cool to see you here today.
Hey, Pop.
Oh, goodness. And Sam leaps into Victor Panzini, a young Hungarian trapeze artist living in and around Denver, Colorado on November 18th, 1958. So that's our time. And including this one, there are only 10 episodes of Quantum Leap that have leap in the title.
So I didn't know that. And that is what's Sam this? That's Sam's sister, Eva.
Eva, yes.
I forget which.
A wonderful little episode. What? Oh,
well, I forget Sam's leapy. What's his name again? I'm sorry.
Victor
Panzini.
Mm-hmm. Victor Panzini. Oh. Yeah. Okay. And so I realized when I love Quantum Leap, it is when someone has a dream that requires some sort of talent or energy to accomplish, and it has plenty of Al. So as long as it has those two things, I'm gonna have a fun time. And this one, it takes that formula and performs it perfectly. It's a charming, well-written performance drama about a circus act.
Well, and it's 2 in a row for Al teaching Sam how to do something. Because in the Pool Hall Blues, it was all about, shooting pool. And now Al is basically training Sam on how to be a trapeze artist.
Well, Al just seems to know everything. I don't know.
He's got Ziggy. He's got the teacher's manual.
Well, not only that, apparently he ran away to join the circus when he was a kid. So that's how he
had a roach named Kevin.
Yeah, with a roach named Kevin.
Now, this actress who plays Eva, that is Fabiana Udinho. And you may know her best from Austin Powers International Man of Mystery, in which she played a lot of vagina.
Yeah, I remember watching those movies. I've seen them once.
But I was very surprised. I was like, I recognize her. I wonder if that's a lot of vagina. And I looked it up on IMDb, and it was a lot of vagina.
Okay, so
I'm sorry.
that was just her name in the movie.
That was the character's name. Yeah. Exactly.
Also, she was in 2 episodes of Babylon 5 as Adira Tyree, for all you Babylon 5 fans.
Adira Tyree. We have to give an equal measure to the names, so I don't seem like I'm just weird.
Yeah, so you don't say a lot of vagina a lot of times.
Exactly. I don't want to do that. That would be crude. And so I was looking it up, and apparently Scott Bakula also has a fear of heights, which we find out, but he also gets
fear of heights.
And he gets motion sickness as well. And so he does have like an interview where it's like, which episode did you not like the most? And he's like, well, I remember this one because I was terrified and ill the entire time. Yeah, but you know
what happened after this episode? He did get motion sickness. And what happened to Calm Meaney when they found out that they could mess with their actor and get a different performance out of them? So after this episode, they started trying to put Sam in more difficult situations.
Just to put Scott Bakula through a little bit of pressure each week.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, he does a good job.
He does. And the drama in this episode comes from the fact that it was Victor who missed catching his mother, and his mother died. And his mom was sick, and so she had an inner ear infection. So it was a combination of her illness and him missing the mark. And his father here, played by Jan Triska, and he blames Victor for his mother's death.
Yes. Although, and they do point out in the episode that she had a cold and her balance was off. People could see it during the matinee. She shouldn't have attempted it at the time. It wasn't. Eva's very understanding and says, you didn't kill Mama. Oh, and they're Hungarian. Don't forget.
Yeah, they're Hungarian. And I think this is the first mirror reveal with the crazy mirror here. So we don't ever even get to see what this guy really looks like because he's just squished.
True. And then we get to see Big Mo in the opposite, which I think is an interesting. And I guess the only thing that is sort of foretold by this Big Mo is played by Phil Fondacaro, and he was in Return of the Jedi.
Was he an Ewok?
Yes. Okay. And he's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But he's the ringmaster of the circus. And don't call it a circus or a carnival. This is a mud show. Only the rubes call it a circus.
Yeah, don't say it's a carny.
Yeah. Yeah, never say that. Like, I know that from going to carnivals. You never say, hey, carny.
Shenanigans. Berta Pre 5 says Austin Powers is a great movie franchise.
Yeah.
That's how I know most of the things I know about James Bond.
That makes sense.
Hold on just a moment. Can you talk for me for a minute?
I can, yeah, absolutely. About Quantum Leap, I'm assuming. But this is Sam getting used to all of the lingo. Al is there. I love that now that we've sort of established the handset of Ziggy, like the Ziggy hand comlink. I like that. It is more present now. It's not something that doesn't show up very often. It's still not in its final form yet, but I am looking forward to Final Comlink. And but yeah, Captain Finity is absolutely correct. Scott Bakula really is TV's Harrison Ford. It's true. And but yeah, they're trying to figure out what exactly Sam is here for. Why is he going to be on the trapeze? Is that he has to catch Eva tomorrow night. or in 2 days. In 2 days.
And we're not really doing the bingo card like we used to do, but this one Al achieves the dirty old man.
Oh yeah.
Well, we can if I can find it. I forgot about the bingo card until
I could probably find it.
Okay.
But yeah.
Because he wants to go into Eva's dressing room.
Yes. And it's a really innocent performance by Fabiana Udenio. She does a great job. But this is where we find out what happened with Mama.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she got killed trying to do the triple in Chicago.
Oh man, that sounds like yeah.
What does that sound like if you didn't know it was the trapeze act?
Yeah. I don't even know what it sounds like if I didn't think it was a trapeze act. She got killed doing the triple in Chicago. All right. Weird. But Sam is obviously very hesitant to do this. He can't. He's never been a trapeze artist. He doesn't want to. But that was the moment where we discovered that Al escaped from the orphanage when he was a kid and ran away with the circus. And Al is like, "You didn't?"
Yeah, I thought everybody had that phase. You didn't have a runaway to the circus phase? What kind of person are you?
Well, it kind of reminded me of because then Sam says, "No, I liked my family." But that's not the circumstance that Al was brought in. Like, that's not his life experience. But it reminded me the interaction was like when Milhouse's dad says, "I sleep in a race car." And then Homer's like, "I sleep in a bed with my wife. I don't understand these experiences you have." And so I thought it was an interesting juxtaposition, if a little insensitive from Sam.
Yeah, it was definitely. That's a case where when you haven't watched all the previous episodes and you don't know the real lore behind Al's history, I think we got some of it from that episode with Jimmy, right?
Exactly, yeah.
And I wish I'd remembered to go look that up, but yes, he took.
But it's also when that's also a nice get out of jail free card when you want to sort of insert conflict between your two best friend main characters. You can always chalk it up to as he has a Swiss cheese brain.
Yeah, that's true. But this means that did he take his sister with him to
Oh no, didn't they get separated? He and his sister got separated.
Right, they got separated. I'm trying to remember what happened to that. Yeah, right. She got taken away. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. I need to write all this down and build up what happened to Al over all of these episodes.
Oh, that'd be fun if we did a Calavici recap. Mm-hmm. That'd be fun. And Sam is relieved to find out that he's actually not a part of the act. Laszlo doesn't trust Victor because of the incidents involving Victor and his mother. She died.
Right. It's just contentious the whole time between Victor and his dad just blames him for everything and doesn't trust him with anything.
Well, and I know it comes later, but I wanted, there is a nice sort of reflective moment that Laszlo has, and he says, I want her to do the triple. I want my son to catch her. I want to be able to be proud and hug my son again. And it was like, okay, he's self-reflective. He's aware of the fact that there's a divide between him and his son, and he wants that resolved.
Yeah, but just blaming him to begin with is kind of harsh.
Dropped my wife, dude. I don't care if he is my son. He dropped my wife. Mm-hmm. I can understand how you can hold a grudge.
It's true. And they're watching Eva practice by herself, falling in the net over and over, talking about how dangerous that is. But Sam says, is it any more dangerous than being caught by somebody who doesn't know what they're doing?
See, I don't know. I was trying to, there are things that a layman can do, and I'm wondering if this is something that I would be able to pull off.
Probably. Well, you could probably do the swinging part with your legs, just like Scott Bakula does. He does as much as he can in this episode, but you can tell when it goes from Scott Bakula to I didn't get screenshots of it, but to the stunt person, and sure. So you know that they had to have Real trapeze artists do these things.
Well, of course, they had to have stunt people for the real trapeze stuff. It's like when Sam rides a motorcycle kind of thing.
There's a reason why people go out and pay tickets to see people do this, because not everybody wants to be hundreds of feet up in the air to spin around on a bar.
It takes a certain level of courage, fearlessness.
Yeah, and Eva displays that perfectly.
I just wanted to say hi to Dalek 451. Evening,
hi, Dalek.
Evening, Jill and Scotty. Good to see you reviewing this show again. Will it always be on this channel from now on? No, I don't know. We're figuring it out. I'm just crashing on the couch for a while. I don't think it is.
No, this is supposed to be on the Phantasmagorium, but that one's that's taken. They're taking a break.
Yes, but we're still going to be reviewing it no matter where.
Mm-hmm. And I think in this episode, the danger is presented well, and the challenge.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the hesitance from a man with and you get a little bit of Sam's backstory too, is that Sam's always been afraid of heights.
But even though, yes, he's always been afraid. Sam's been afraid of heights, even though he jumped off a building in a previous episode.
He forgot Swiss cheese brain.
Right. He forgot that.
Exactly.
So even though Victor's dad blames him, his sister doesn't. She blames the fact that her mom had an inner ear infection.
Right.
And you did mention earlier that Scott had motion sickness hanging down on the trapeze. He used acupuncture needles in his ears to help with this. And this was not one of his favorite episodes, I'm sure.
I can only imagine. Hey, Cardinal Sin is here. Hey, Cardinal.
Hey, Cardinal Sin. I'm sorry you couldn't have your show today. That's a bummer. Captain Infinity says, so when does Sailor Guy find out he's a silent?
Sailor Moon?
I don't know. Is this like a holodeck episode? All of these episodes are like a completely different show. Like Quantum Leap, every week is a different show. Because Sam is leaping into lots of different people's lives.
Yeah, we're still waiting on the one where he leaps into a chimp. That's the one that I'm looking forward to.
Oh yeah, that's going to happen soon.
He's going to leap into Dr. Ruth.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who Dr. Ruth is?
No.
You'll find out. You'll find out.
Well, it's great that Cardinal Sin is here because the Stream Element spot is posted to his channel.
Nice.
And Captain Infinity asks, is there a replicator on the holodeck? Well, the holodeck kind of functions as a replicator itself.
Agreed.
Dalek 451, hey. Oh yeah, you read that one. Thank you.
And thank you guys for being here. This is great.
Mm-hmm. And Dalek says, I don't mind which channel you do it on as long as you keep reviewing it. And Infinity says, Sam dresses as a sailor in the opening credits.
That was
discount Richard Gear.
Oh no, that's I don't know. Is Scott Bakula Television's Richard Gere as well as Harrison Ford?
I don't know, but in this scene,
yes.
It's revealed that Sam sleeps without clothes.
Yes, in the nude.
I don't know if that's ever going to become important, but now we know.
No, it was kind of a weird thing out of nowhere, and he's very bashful. Like, it's still Sam Beckett. But, but again, it's brother and sister, so...
Yeah.
She's appropriately like, oh my God, I thought you wore shorts to bed. And he's like, not always, I'm sorry. And so it just, I don't know. I think it's something that sort of solidifies the relationship between brother and sister, and they trust each other. And that's when she gets to say this line. Like, there is a certain level of trust where it doesn't come off as condescending. And I think that in terms of the characterization between these two is great, because you understand the honesty from Eva. She's like, come on, Mama's dead.
If we don't do our best, then we might as well be dead too. That was a good line.
Yeah, and Eva doesn't come off as being condescending, being like, I want this for me. It's just like, no, I still want to live. Just because Mama's dead doesn't mean we all have to lie down. But yeah, and also Al going on from emotional to not emotional. Yeah, Al can fly now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he can fly. Well, he could always pick which XYZ coordinate he could appear in. Could he not fly before? I guess maybe it never came up before.
It never came up before. I don't think we've been up this high in an episode where there wasn't footing for Al.
Interesting. It is very strange, but
It's the first time that I've seen it.
Sense.
Oh, right. So anyway, meanwhile, back at the trailer, Laszlo got a wire from a circus in Denver, and the flying Panzinis have been invited to Denver to go and perform under a bigger top. And so they've been invited there. This is the carnies, pardon my vernacular, saying you can't leave. You're the biggest draw to our mud show. If you go, we'll have nothing. And then Laszlo's like, I'm sorry. We got to go. This is a bigger audience, and we have to do a show. We want to go and put on our show at a better location.
And I thought that this was going to come up later. Like, you got to care about the people who you've been with for a while, but no, they don't really come back and do anything with these guys.
No, but again, I don't expect much loyalty from my circus acts.
I guess that's true.
If a bigger circus shows up and says, "Do you want to come play with us?" Your circus acts are probably going to just go with them.
Although this one, we know we're in the 1990s in terms of the production of this episode, because Sam calls Big Mo a little person.
Yes. Well, and I was curious about the etymology of that particular idiom. Was that introduced at that time? I thought it was still commonly acceptable to use other sort of colloquialisms for little people.
I don't know. I don't know the history of that. I should have.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Should have looked it up.
I thought it was more prescient than it thought. I thought it leapt a level of sort of physical respect that wasn't really introduced until, I would say, the mid 2010s. Like little person being more, or even maybe the 2000s. But like, I didn't think that in 1990 it was common vernacular to call people little people.
It wasn't, so I'm pretty surprised at it, and I guess maybe Quantum Leap was just ahead of its time. But that's something to look up for sure.
Yes.
But Big Mo is 3 foot 6 inches tall. You already said he was an Ewok in Star Wars, but he was also Bonker in Willow.
Wizards.
And also Peter Pan.
If I look up little people, it's taking me to little people have been part of the folklore of many cultures. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, it's a difficult one to do some research on, but
yeah, you can't just Google that and find an answer that exactly what you want. Apologies for our lack of preparation. So that is Scott Bakula's bum.
Yeah, it is.
And he is learning how to sort of grip the trapeze so that he will be capable of swinging and catching his sister.
And apparently, the Flying Panzini family escaped Hungary during the time in 1956 when Soviet tanks invaded Budapest to restore communist order. Yikes. Oh, apparently 30,000 people died for that. And so, but they somehow escaped.
Which is good for them.
Yeah. I don't remember that being said in the episode, but it's in the, it's on Al's place.
Oh, right. Al's place for all your Quantum Leap needs.
Yeah. So maybe it says at some point when they left Hungary, and then somebody extrapolated what was happening in Hungary at that time.
Well, I'm sure that there's ancillary material. We spoke about the little girl who grew up, who Al's best friend. So there's other stuff that happens with. Remember, it was the little girl, and then Al had to go, and it was then we found out that there was a novelization where Al and the little girl were reunited when she was all grown up.
Oh yeah, I remember that, the comic book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, Phantom Boomer's here. Hello, Phantom Boomer and Lenrod. Oh, good.
Hey, Lenrod and Boomer. Hey.
The triple Lindy. So this is the scene where Sam catches her the first time, but then when the dad comes in, he drops her. He fails to catch her because he was reaching.
Right. And that's an interesting. I thought that was a great piece of advice for this, because usually when you're doing a physical activity in a sports or athletic way, one of the things that people tell you right off, like if they notice something wrong with your form, it's like you're trying too hard. Just be natural with it. And so I liked how Al said, you reached. You shouldn't reach. Just let her. She wants to catch you. You just grab her.
Yeah. And Sam tries to get out of doing this.
Yes. Like an idiot.
Yeah, right. And she says, did a bird fly in or something? And he says 2 birds did, but apparently 2 birds means good luck. So if 1 bird flies in your house, bad luck, and someone's going to die.
And we discovered this through Al, who apparently his 3rd or 4th ex-wife was Hungarian, so he speaks a little Hungarian, can translate Eva for Sam. But also, like, yeah, a bird flew in. 2 birds. There were like 11 birds flew into the trailer. Like, he just does it like a child, and he's like, yeah, what's worse than 1 bird? 2 birds. Mm-hmm. Not you, bird.
Yeah, well, he was panicking because he's afraid of heights. And it actually plays into Victor's fear because he's afraid not of heights, but that he's going to mess up again and lose somebody else.
Oh, and this is interesting with the gypsy psychic.
Yeah. I do want to read a few chats here. Sean Carter says, the triple Lindy. So when does Sailor Guy find out he's a Cylon? Wait, he was never a Cylon. I think he was from the Navy.
From what I understand, there are no robotics in an episode of Quantum Leap.
Really? That's disappointing.
Not that I know of.
Yeah, you can't use the holodeck and replicator synonymously. Rendered water ain't the same as actual water. Yeah, it could be either an illusion or it could function. This is a great topic for a live stream. I should write this down.
I just think that if you have a glass of water in a holodeck, it's going to hydrate you. I love the party going on in the background. It sounds like a circus.
It is a circus. It's already a circus. Leonard's here. Yay. Captain Infinity says, but that's another hot topic for the Star Trek show. Yeah, you're right. Exactly. Al flies now. And Leonard says, Al's been flying this whole time. He's only 2 feet tall.
Standing on boxes.
Dwarves have beards. Little people
Wait,
do not.
No, but that's what happens. Lenrod, later on, he does. He gets in trouble. Laszlo calls Big Mo a dwarf. And he has a beard. So, yeah. No, it's coming up. There's going to be a fight scene, guys. Don't worry.
No, there was already. We already did that.
Did we already do the fight scene? It's already over.
Yeah. You want to see it? What we missed? Wait a minute. Oh, you're right. They haven't done it yet.
They haven't done the fight scene yet, I don't think.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. I wasn't paying attention.
Maybe they did? I don't know. There was a fight scene. There may be a fight scene. Who knows?
Going to be. You're right. They haven't done it yet.
Okay.
Birdprey 5 says, in 96, I applied for a scholarship for little people. Since Mama Prey was under 4'11", I was eligible.
Nice.
Wow. Right. 4'11" is the cutoff for being a little person.
Is that like how tall you have to be to ride a roller coaster?
Yeah, so as short as I am, I'm not technically a little person.
Are you allowed to ride roller coasters?
Yes.
Then you're fine. Not that there's anything wrong with little people who can't.
Right.
Right.
Well, they can ride some. They can ride the kid ones, I guess.
It's kind of demeaning.
Yeah, probably. If they're not having fun with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
They'll probably have more fun on the spinning ones. Matt G says, anyone see Evil Dead Rise? Hey, that's an idea though. Has anyone ever made like a exciting roller coaster for an adult little person?
I'm sure that I like the kids coasters. I don't know why I was making fun. There's one. There's one. It's just fun. It just goes fast, and it's good enough.
Yeah.
So
it's a pleasant time.
Hmm. But so Al is being sensed because Sam. How did Sam get to the psychic?
Sam. How did Sam get to the psychic? Because his sister led him there. Because his sister said that. Because Sam said that he saw it in a dream, or no, maybe what did he say? I forget.
Did he said he saw a ghost?
Yeah, he saw somebody in his dream that told him that she's gonna die. So
right.
She figured that he heard this from
Mama. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and also because Eva's been talking about dreams as well. She's been saying, Mama came to my dream last night and she said I could do the triple, and then she faded away.
Maybe I have it here.
What did you tell you? And so, yeah, we've got the psychic who can sort of sense Al. So he takes the door out. Hey, Comic Relief Crusader, how are you, sir?
Hey, hello to the Comic Relief Crusader. Wait a minute. Where is he? You said he's here.
Yeah, he's
over there. Okay, I see him now.
Hey.
Phantom Boomer says, you should be able to, in a holodeck, to eat as much ice cream as you want. You won't get fat.
Phantom, I don't think it works that way. I think it makes real food. I think it makes replicator food in the holodeck.
I can't wait for the live stream detailing all of the science behind holodecks and replicators and how they are similar or dissimilar.
We'll talk about it all next week on our new podcast, The Holodeck All You Can Eat.
Leonard says 4'11". Does that mean Danny DeVito is a little person? Well, how tall is Danny DeVito?
Probably 4'11".
Oh, I'm taller than Danny DeVito. Oh my God, yes. Technically, Danny DeVito is a little person. He is 4'10".
So there you go. Answered. Asked and answered. Moving on. So.
Good question.
You saw Elvira in Victor's Soul? Oh, right. Because there's Elvira, who's a stripper. And whenever Sam talks about Al, Eva thinks that Victor is referencing Elvira, Al. So.
Yes.
That's a thing. That was a cute moment at the beginning of the episode as well. When Al and Elvira were walking away and Al, and then they both turn around.
Oh, right. Not only can Sybil see Al or sense Al, but she can also see all of the souls that Sam has leapt through.
Now, did you think about what Sam carries with him from his previous leaps?
Right. Do you think it gets mixed up with his actual history?
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
And that could explain why he has a fear of heights, even though it hasn't been addressed before. He could be assimilating some of these leaps into his own personality.
But also sometimes maybe if his personality is the dominant one between him being the leaper and then the leapee, being a more weak-willed individual, obviously Victor was, because in the original timeline, he doesn't even have the chutzpah to go up against his father. and doesn't do it. So what if when Al's dominant personality is informing his decisions, but is he still carrying some of the memories or experiences from his previous leaps?
It's possible. Oh, I didn't get any of the pictures from the fight. Sorry about that.
Oh, no big deal. But yeah. Are you trying to kill your sister?
Right, he drops her right before they have to go to Denver to fly.
And what's the name of the company that makes the physical medias? Blue Anchor Bay,
Mill Creek.
Mill Creek. Once again, saving the day by having the original music, the original soundtrack.
Oh,
in the from the travel from the original Mud Show to Denver. We do have a car ride with the radio on, and it is playing Tequila.
Oh, that's where I was going to ask you where that song came from. Yes.
This is where Tequila is.
Because I'm watching it from a source that replaces all of the copywritten music with elevator music. So I don't even know what song they play for me.
But I think that was the only one. That was the only song that was changed that I recognized. Anytime there's a pop song on when I'm watching these, I always write it down just so I know, and then be able to bring it up later. You know, it's called research for the show, Jill.
I like it.
Great.
It's good, especially with the music stuff. I have to wait for my Blu-rays to come in before I can listen to the show the way it was intended.
Yeah. Oh, this is where we find out that Eva had actually counterfeited the letter to the Denver circus. I forget the name of the circus. But you have to, and so signed Laszlo's name. Eva said, I had to do it. We're an act. We have to do it. And the poster that is presented says the Flying Panzinis, and they do the triple. And then Laszlo says, we don't do the triple. And it is revealed, actually a little bit earlier, that Laszlo has a torn rotator cuff. So he can't he can't catch Eva, even if he tried. He's been favoring his right arm, and he's been catching with the left. And tonight would have been the night that Eva dropped to her death. But Sam is here to help. But if we step outside of the story proper and go back a couple slides, Jill, find the man with the mustache and the cigar. There he is. That is Richard Reel. You may remember Richard Reel from the Star Trek The Next Generation episode, The Inner Light, as Kamen's best friend.
Oh, hey, that's cool. I love The Inner Light.
Then you will also remember him as an Irishman in the holodeck Irish Town on Voyager.
Oh my god.
Richard Reel.
Oh, cool, because Captain Finity I thought he was completely talking about something that had nothing to do with this episode, talking about the holodeck, but it turns out he was talking the holodeck. It just came up right now.
There you go.
Captain Finity has been vindicated.
Papa, I can do the triple. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, they are. But again, big ups to Richard Reel. You may remember him best from Jump to Conclusions in Office Space, or so many other things. This is one of the greatest character actors of all time. I don't want to give him short shrift, but this is one of the legends. He is the Miles O'Brien of character actors.
I'm glad you had all that to say, because there's a lot of loudness going on in my house.
I know.
And the dad, even though he has a hurt arm, he wants to catch her anyway because he doesn't trust his son, but he's forced to, because otherwise Eva says they're going to break up and form their own act.
You would break up the act? There is no act if all we do is simple catches. We can't do this in front of a large audience like this. We have to do the triple.
So they're going to do the triple. Elephants.
Elephants and trumpets. And there's a conga line of chimpanzees. Did you get the conga line of chimpanzees?
Yeah, I did. Here are these cute dancing horses. And I don't know why they have that on their head. And then the spinning lady.
Yes. Ooh, fire.
And a bear with fire. Yes.
Probably a Russian bear.
There's the chimpanzees.
Yay!
Chimpanzees will come up in another episode, so I hear.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Ladies and gentlemen, 1 year ago tonight, Maria Panzini, the world's greatest woman aerialist, was killed attempting the triple. The circus is proud to present Maria's son, Victor, and her daughter, Ava. And in the same way...
I didn't realize you wanted to read this, so I would have got the whole thing.
Oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. I'm enjoying the improvising. I'm sorry for everyone in the audience. As the mother died a year ago tonight, we will be performing the triple without a safety net. And they do. Once again, because of the severe danger, during the next several minutes, we will require complete silence. And they do it. And she checks to see if the net is up, and she drops. It's very exciting. Al is right. It's a whole huge weight off your shoulder. Look at the unit on that guy. Anyway. So, yes. How many times do we have to tell you when you're up there in the spotlights? Wave to the audience. And we get father and son reunited, and that leaps him out. I guess we made right what once went wrong. We leap to Raising Arizona, the movie.
Everybody's screaming in my house right now.
That's cool. I think I just got in trouble for doing an announcer voice at 9:30 at night. So we're all enjoying ourselves. All right. Well, and see you later, Gorilla. Thank you for being here.
Good night, Gorilla. Thank you for hanging out. And in 35 minutes, Clobberin Times will be having his Clobby's Clubhouse with Raquel and Mark D with the C. So
nice.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Where are we?
Oh, my
I
star.
have the wrong star.
Oh, my stars.
Yeah. Well, where's my star? That's what I'm looking for.
Danny DeVito.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
right
Captain
here.
Finity. There we are.
Elevator music. Weak. Yeah, that is such BS. I am not experiencing Quantum Leap properly because this is just a soap opera basically with science fiction, science fantasy veneer. And without the proper music, what is the point? I need the right emotional cues from the right music as intended.
Well, exactly. The intention and feeling of also the music gives you a sense of the time as well.
And Captain Infinity thinks exactly, Boomer. Holodeck ice cream is like 0 fat.
I don't know if that works like that.
I don't know either, but I know they work similarly, but they're not the same thing. So I don't know. Hampton Boomer said, and I would not have to worry about being lactose intolerant.
Not at all.
Captain Infinity says, phew. Post-mortem vindication again. Glucose-free food and alcohol-free vodka, both available on the holodeck.
Well, alcohol-free vodka is just water.
Yeah, well, also synthol.
Alcohol and holodeck deep-fried foods. Delish.
I wouldn't count on that.
I would.
Sex with never leads to pregnancy.
I don't think this is so much like we are getting in. We should be taking notes. Actually, I'm pretty sure Captain Infinity is. He knows this.
Right.
So
the idea here would be the reason why you wouldn't have to worry about that is because of contraception availability in the 24th century, not necessarily having anything to do with the holodeck.
Well, no, because
but you're talking about
like the sexy time.
Sex with the actual light holograms. Yes.
Right.
In that case, then it would never lead to pregnancy. That's correct.
Right. Even if a holographic sperm fertilized an egg, or your sperm fertilized a holographic egg, a computer end program, and everything's gone. Or if you're a lady, you walk out of the holodeck, and then whatever happened in terms of that would just stop.
Not only that, even if it did somehow create something that was physical, like a replicator would, it would never be alive, because you can't have living tissue replicated in the replicator. That's come up several times.
Right. It's synth something.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll talk all about it. That sounds like a great Friday show.
Yeah, this would be a great Friday show. This is absolutely true. There's no controversy here. That's 100% true, no matter what you think of the holodeck.
Can you excuse me for just one moment?
Sure.
Thank you.
Phantom Boomer needs a holodeck. And Lenrod said, I'd never leave the holodeck. Yeah, no, that's the idea of the holodeck. This is true. And LDG says, noise. I have never seen it spelled that way. Phantom Boomer says, did he leap to the episode where he inhabits a veterinarian? No, but that would be pretty good for him to do. Oh, wait, that's the other episode. I think we did that one already, where he's like a veterinarian on a farm, and he has to win the favor of some lady cow girl. Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah, and Captain Infinity says, Clobby and Jill are both 2 for 2. I got 4 hot topics in 4 shows. Stop being so interesting, you fuckers. But you know what, though? It was partially also you being interesting, because you brought up the holodeck. And there, oh yeah, Captain Panda Nerds link there, and Matt G's laughing. Captain Infinity says, replicator equals Oasis.
Yeah.
And the holodeck equals a mirage.
But what if there's an oasis in your mirage?
That's what we need to talk about more later.
It'll be fun. I can't wait.
Make sure to subscribe to Canadian Spider-Man, because he's got some really cool travel videos. And also, he said he's going to be streaming soon, but I don't know when that's going to be. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh.
Phantom Boomer?
Deep fried holodeck ice cream? I haven't had deep fried ice cream in such a long time. It's delicious.
Yeah, you can get it at a sushi restaurant usually.
Really?
Yeah, they have fried ice cream.
I do like fried ice cream.
Lenrod. Says, oh, he's got to go back to work. Later, Lenrod. Thanks for hanging out with us. You got to see the whole episode. Then we have one more episode.
Yeah.
Captain Infinity says, what about a replicator? And a
replicant
having sex. They would also not get pregnant.
I don't even know.
I don't even know how that makes. I don't even know, because one is just a machine.
Well, no, but like if Data decided on a holographic Tasha Yar or something.
Oh.
But no, there would be no pregnancy.
No. Phantom Boomer says there should have been an episode where a character is trapped in there for a month and starves or dehydrates to death. Ooh.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and a holodeck. In case anybody's listening to this as a podcast and doesn't realize that we're normally a Star Trek channel over here, but
yeah,
now we're talking about Quantum Leap. Hooray!
Hooray! Woik!
Oh, Leonard has to go to work.
Woik!
All right, and we got another episode, so let's get to that one.
Yes, maybe baby.
Maybe baby. Which I thought sounded familiar, and I guess it is, because it's a song.
It is. It's there are 2 Buddy Holly songs in this that I was really excited about.
I only got to hear one.
Did it play the one though?
Yeah, it played the title one.
Okay.
Or maybe I don't know. It depends which one it was. Maybe it played both. We'll find out. That'll be the adventure. As I look for the slides for this episode.
Absolutely. Well, and it's an interesting episode because of the co-star. very recognizable, got her start on MTV. But this is Julie Brown as the co-star lady, the guest lady actress who plays Bunny O'Hare, burlesque dancer from Texas, Maybelline, Texas, if I'm not mistaken. Not downtown Julie Brown. I was going to be like, and we got downtown Julie Brown. Not. Apparently, there were two Julie Browns on MTV. But I think most people would recognize Julie Brown from Shakes the Clown. No, she would. Well, that's where I remember her from. Apparently, she was in Clueless, and she was in Earth Girls Are Easy with Jeff Goldblum, Gina Davis, and Jim Carrey, and Damon Wayans. So, but no, she was a personality in the 80s and 90s.
Also a writer, because Julie Brown and Paul Brown wrote this episode.
True. Yeah, I was surprised to see that she co-wrote the episode.
Mm-hmm. And it first aired on April 4th, 1990. And it was directed by Michael Zinberg.
We start off with Sam leaping, getting a basket from a roof out of a window down to a truck, being beckoned by Bunny, which we'll learn. Well, there you go. And
and she's like, "What are you thinking?" Because he doesn't realize there's a baby in there.
Well, he puts it in the flatbed. He puts it in the back of the tow truck or the pickup truck, and and it's like, "What are you thinking, Buster?"
So I usually don't worry about the composer, but something interesting happens here. This is Mike Post's last episode, and Belton Ray Bunch is credited for the first time, and will work on the music for the rest of the series.
Nice. That'll be an interesting sort of transition, and we'll see how the music goes from here on out. I'll have an ear for it.
Please do, because I won't notice the difference. Sam leaps into Buster, a friend and companion to Bunny O'Hare, traveling through Texas and New Mexico on Monday, March 11th, 1963.
He went away, and you hung around and bothered me every night. Because this is the first of the. Is this how you know that there are pop songs in the episode? Is because of the subtitles?
Yes.
And it's like that song's not playing.
Yes, it is.
Is it
if
My
they,
Boyfriend's
if they
Back?
actually sing it? If they actually sing it in the episode, I get the actual song.
Okay.
So I only get it if the characters acknowledge the song's existence. Like when they did the twist in the DJ episode, that was one of the few songs I got.
Okay. So because Bunny is singing My Boyfriend's Back, we get My Boyfriend's Back.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And she's just holding the baby in this car, which is crazy. And Sam does address it later, but they never did get a car seat for this baby.
No. Well, they, with reason. Like they do stop to get, but they get busy.
Yeah, they still a Barbie doll instead of something they actually need.
Well, they don't even know what car they're going to be in. Why get see that? From what I understand, like I have nieces, and my sister tells me it's like it's such a pain to move the car seats from one car to another.
It is.
So I can understand if you're on the run, you have to carry the baby and the car seat everywhere. Like, and it's also 1963. So yeah.
Right. Seatbelts, car seats won't become law until 1968.
Well, and Al, even when we get there, Al does comment on it and says, I can't believe how flimsy these are.
Yeah, so Buster is helping Bunny to take what Bunny says is her baby away from Texas and into New Mexico. So now the multiple locations make sense. It's a travel episode. And usually when it is kidnapping, it does make sense. A lot of times it is the parent kidnapping. So at this point, we don't know really the situation yet. But according to the father, Reed Dalton, his wife died. Oh, look, it's a baby.
It's a baby, Christy.
Reed Dalton says his wife died giving birth to the baby a year ago. And already that's a little suspect. That baby doesn't look a year old yet, but I don't know. I could be wrong.
You know what? My mom has the same problem. I'm going to talk about my entire family this evening. No, my mom has the same problem when she sees a baby in television or movies, and it's like, nope, that is not the correct age for what they are describing.
Oh, is that a problem? Like, okay,
that just takes her out of the movie. Yeah,
it makes sense. It's the verisimilitude of the matter.
Yeah.
That baby.
How old do you think that baby was?
Like 8 months? Maybe?
Not a year old.
Not a year old. I don't think so. I could be wrong, but I don't know.
You know what? And even if I look at the IMDb to find out who played Christy, let's see, is Christy even in here? No. Christy is not credited in the IMDb credits. Because for some reason, I thought Christy looked like Oscar from Ghostbusters 2, but that doesn't make sense either. Because
see if this was a famous TV baby.
That would have been 2 years later, and then very different. So
that's the problem with Quantum Leap. We don't have a lot of the production information. Who is this baby?
Someone find baby Christy. Invite her to this podcast.
Yeah, why not?
We should find out all of the babies that happened in Quantum Leap and then invite those babies. So what was it like working with Scott Bakula?
She's not going to remember.
That'll be the fun part.
Sure, but at least she'll be like 33 years old.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yes. Sam is playing Buster, who is a bouncer. We will find out. And he is tasked with taking care of baby Christy. Because he said that he raised 8 brothers and sisters, and Sam, lying to get out of it, says, yeah, but I was the youngest, so it's whatever.
Yeah, and Reed says he doesn't know why Bunny would take the baby, except that she confided in him that she couldn't have a baby. So from this, he's painting Bunny as an insane cadaver, a crazy lady stealing a baby.
Well, and also, like, let's be fair, Velma Lou Dickey had a kind of hard life, and so she does know how to sort of skirt the truth.
Yeah, she does. She's a compulsive liar.
Okay, wow, I wasn't going to go that far, but she is manipulative with her lies. She does lie about everything, and she manipulates people with her lies. Yes,
she has good intentions, but she lies a lot.
Maybe I was just happy to see Julie Brown.
Oh, but that part where you said, when she leaves to get some milk, she says, Buster, taking care of a baby is something you never forget to do.
Yes. It's like falling off of a log. No. It's like falling off of a bicycle. And Sam corrects her. And
she says it's as easy as falling off a bicycle.
That's it. I liked it.
We totally ruined the joke. It's great.
We did, but it's fine. That's why if you'd like to see the joke done properly, please watch the episode of Quantum Leap.
And there was actually some pretty comedic timing with everything that Sam is doing wrong with this baby.
Yes.
So that was good. He does not. He very much proves that he does not know how to deal with a baby. I mean, starting with bringing a toy to the baby is a classic mistake. You never go with the toy first. The toy comes at the end when the baby's really happy. Well,
and it's a weird sort of rocking sensation that he attempts. Like, yeah, it takes him too long to actually pick up the baby. Anyway, Admiral Teague is
here. Everybody knows to pick up the baby, but oh well.
Well,
hey, hello, Admiral Teague.
Like if there's a baby crying, the first thing I'm doing is picking it up and sort of bouncing and being like,
yeah, that's always the first thing.
That's the way to go. No matter which would you rather? Would you rather confront your fear of breaking the baby, or would you like the baby to be quiet because that means that you're not going to break the baby?
Right, and especially, why would you shake the mattress of the bed? That's just going to make the baby fall off.
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I get it as a person who thinks that babies are toxic and if I touch them, they will die.
Well, to be fair, Spock is that way. He didn't want to touch that baby in Friday's Child.
Yeah, that's Oochie Coochie Coochie Coo. And we get our mirror reveal. This is Buster. He is clearly a linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, I had something about Buster. Yeah, they. His name is Jay Bourye. I don't know how to say his name, but he's actually an actor. Usually, they just have random people be the image because they don't need to act. But he also plays a stuntman in one of my favorite movies, A Beautiful Mind.
Oh wow! I wonder if it seems that he is a stuntman. He was in Surrogates and Lockup. He was in the Stallone movie Lockup. And he's done a bunch. He was in The Sopranos. He was in Law and Order, Rounders. He played a Russian thug. Kiss of Death. Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff.
Okay, so let me see where we are in the chat because I have to step away for a minute. My daughter.
No, that's fine.
Speaking of baby, well, she's not necessarily a baby anymore, but
she's not a baby. She's running around with wooden spoons and pots.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna start with Captain Infinity saying because Phantom Boomer said woik. So I'm ready, Freddy. You can please. I love it when Jill steps away. It's kind of like when Al walks into the light door. And it's like, all right, Sam, I'm out of here. I'll be back. I'm gonna go talk to Gushy. And that's what Jill did. And it's great. It's fun. Captain Infinity says, can Data impregnate a holodeck if there are no follow-up questions? Yes. Phantom Boomer says, can a replicator create a viable egg or sperm? No. Captain Infinity says, does Data dream of holographic sheep? Apparently he dreams of crows. That's what I heard. Phantom Boomer says, did they ever address if Data dreams? They did. There's a two-part episode. I think it's Birthright. The first episode is like a Klingon Data a Worf Data episode, and then the second one is very much a Worf episode. The second part, I mean, but I think it's Birthright. But they do address Data dreaming. He has a dreaming subroutine. Captain Infinity says, surely Data daydreams. I don't know if he incorporated that into his program. Phantom Boomer says, per Philip K. Dick, he will. Also, Stream Elements. Thank you, bot. Good bot. Subscribe to Admiral Teague. Subscribe to Captain Infinity. Subscribe to Fit for Hire. Admiral Teague says, hail, anti-derivative Jill, at Scotty, at Finity, at Boomer, and at Lenrod, who has gone back to Woik. And Phantom Boomer says, hey, Matt G, with what I don't nipples? I don't know. Captain Infinity says, well, Data is a synth more than clone. He's more like he's basically in the same body as Picard, I think. Same sort of brand. Admiral Teague says, baby Christy is Chrissy Teigen. What was it? Because it was Alien Day yesterday. It was April 4th. It was April 26th. The April being the 4th month and 26 being the day, LV426. And I got to catch up with Carrie Henn, who played Newt in Aliens, which, that occurred on LV426, which was great. And by catch up, I mean I checked out her Twitter to celebrate. Stream Elements, subscribe to Jim's Landscape. Commodore Productions, please do. Admiral Teague says to Captain Infinity, he seems to operate by replicant rules, except the lifespan and when they take him apart. Arg! Hello. Admiral Teague continues. Phantom Boomer says, I don't recall Data sleeping. I think they shut him down a few times. You guys love Quantum Leap. It's great. So, I'm kidding. I want to talk about Quantum Leap. So either his brain is also shut off, so he can't dream unless they are running a trickle charge to his brain during those times. No, he did shut him. No, he did have a program for that. Phantom Boomer says, "Woik" is Bob Denver's signature word on a show previous to Gilligan. Oh, nice. Dobie Gillis. I think it was Dobie Gillis. Admiral Teague says Data spends a lot of time in robot purgatory these days. Perhaps. Teague goes on to say all flights of fancies are daydreams. So I would say he does daydream. He wouldn't have made LOL if he didn't daydream, right? I would agree with that. And National Library Outreach Day. Yeah, but it was Alien Day. Alien Day. Xenomorph, what? That's what I celebrated. I apologize for excluding all others. And also the good work that Bunny Mom Ambrosia is doing at the Bunny Rescue. Please subscribe. Admiral Teague says, I view Quantum Leap as an away mission now. You can look that way about Cheers. You can think Cheers is a holodeck program, considering the Star Trek actors that show up from time to time. Phantom Boomer says, Maynard G. Krebs. Indeed. And then Admiral Teague says, woke is a beatnik word. It meant cool. It's surely in Dobie Gillis. Woik or woke? Woke, man. Dig it. Seventh Heaven is also an away mission. You know, we don't talk about Stephen Collins enough, really. But big ups to Catherine Hicks, everyone's favorite Jillian Taylor, or our second favorite Jillian, I would suppose. Actually, she spells it with a G. Jill spells it with a J. So whatever. Or is I don't even know. It's very interesting how this episode is sort of, it echoes, it seems somewhat of a play on Raising Arizona with the kidnapping of the baby for the best wishes of the mother. Sam is lied to, Sam is lied to by Bunny, saying that the baby is Bunny's. And you find out later, nope. As Jill mentioned, Bunny is a bit of a compulsive liar and manipulator. But you still get the same sense of the comedic timing between Scott Bakula and Julie Brown. It is reminiscent of Raising Arizona to a certain extent. Certainly not the deft hand that was brought to us by the Coen brothers, but certainly an admirable approximation for a 1990s television budget. Performances was great. Phantom Boomer says, "Woik" was what Maynard would shout whenever he heard someone say work. Makes sense. Admiral Teague says, he's saying woke. No, I'm saying woik. W-O-I-K. Woik. It's old-timey. No, it's not British, Scott. Don't even try that. People will stone you. Matt G says, face, purple crying face. Purple crying face. Purple crying, hit that like. The good bot says, subscribe to Admiral Teague. And Phantom Boomer says, Teague, yep, that's correct. Been many years since I've seen any Dobie Gillis. But yeah, I was surprised. I didn't know the Bob Denver. I was familiar that he had a previous show before Gilligan's Island. I don't know who the co-stars were. I don't think I've actually ever seen an episode. It's just something I've absorbed through my travels into pop culture rabbit holes. And you can hear about it all next week on our new podcast about Dobie Gillis. Admiral Teague says, all I know is Shirley MacLaine's brother is in Dobie Gillis sometimes. Wicked amazing. Shirley MacLaine's brother. Okay. Phantom Boomer says, Woik would be Dead End Kids Brooklyn Bronx. Yeah, Woik. What's up, mister? It's a penny ante operation you got here. Phantom Boomer says, Dwayne Hickman and Tuesday Weld. Thanks, man.
So, hey.
Oh, we were just talking about Dobie Gillis.
Okay, great. Then that's a good, thanks for the star. Yeah, you started the comments.
I did.
So So they're updating the lore here to say that not only can animals see Al, but babies can too.
No, they already
They said
established
that
it
already?
out. Yeah, they did that
When did they
because
say that?
remember when Al was best friends with the little girl from
Oh, you're right.
when Sam was a mom.
No,
That was when they
so
established it.
it goes even further than babyhood because that was a preschooler. That was a
Yeah.
baby.
Anyone under the age of 5 because they still have their innocence and animals.
You remember that? I forgot everything. It's been so long.
I absorb all the things that I shouldn't, and I reject everything that helps me in life. But if you want to have a job interview about Quantum Leap, I'm your guy.
But everything that you shouldn't remember helps me. So
Teamwork.
yeah.
I don't know why Tuesday Weld is such a familiar name to me, but
He says that blondes with low IQ could see him too, but I think that's not true. He's just making a joke.
Amber Heard. I heard she pooped in a bed.
Yeah, that's the story. That's
well,
true.
don't worry about it because baby Christy poops in a bed as well.
Right. And now she's gonna poop in a pillowcase because
Have you ever pooped in a pillowcase?
No, but Christy is going to because Sam fashions her a diaper out of a pillowcase.
Yes, it's ingenious. I wouldn't know how to tie such a thing.
Me neither, but he figures it out, and then Bunny comes back and says, "Why didn't you use all the diapers we had?"
Yes,
and we find out that Al is not a big fan of disposable diapers. Yeah, they haven't been invented yet, and he's happy about that. And it turns out that Dean Stockwell himself is an environmentalist.
Yes.
Well, Dean never get invented. Whatever. They were convenient. I use them for my babies.
Well, and also, like my sister is she's somewhat environmentally conscious, and she was gonna go with the reusable diapers, and she just found that it was too, like it was detrimental to the baby. Like there were rashes more often, and it wasn't as sensitive and gentle on a baby. So
wow.
Yeah,
I never tried it myself, but
she did.
I'm glad I didn't.
She found out quick. Nope. But if you had success, then please, I advocate. Oh no, I mean anybody in the audience.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah,
right. There are more people than just us here. Yes.
Yes.
All power to you guys.
We are not sponsored by Huggies.
Or pull-ups.
Oh yeah. If we were, we would advocate them.
So the hand link in this episode, they seem to have gone backwards. They keep updating the hand link, but in this episode, the hand link for Ziggy is an older one.
I was talking about the hand link, and it's still not in its final form. It's not the yellow plastic awesomeness yet.
No, it's not. So until then, we're gonna just get random ones.
Fine.
And but through Al's research, he finds that Bunny and Reed were not married. Then Sam comes to the conclusion, the correct one, that Christy is not the mother of this baby.
No, Bunny is not the mother of Christy.
Bunny is not the mother of Christy. Oh, excuse me. Right.
And so this,
Ziggy predicts that Sam was there to return the baby to Reed Dalton with 75% accuracy. So now we know that it is the statistics that Ziggy comes up with are not always correct if the data is not correct. That is bad.
Well, and that's, I appreciate this. Oh, I'm sorry. I appreciate that this is a malleable timeline of sorts, and I don't want to get into a whole thing about it, but when you have personal situations that are happening like this, it's not going to be reported properly in the police reports or in the newspapers or anything. There is an interpersonal detail that needs to be discovered through it. And without discovering the original, like the mother of Christy,
right,
the whole thing falls apart. And so you've got two people who are lying. You've got Bunny and Reed, and they're both obfuscating the truth for their own personal reasons. One more virtuous, but also she's Bunny is Vera Lou, Lady of the Night.
Oh, but yeah, her real name is Thelma Lou Dickey.
Thelma Lou Dickey. I thought it was Vera. And so the truth would never have come out had it not been Sam's persistence in trusting and believing Bunny to a point. He does ultimately feel that he's been duped because of, as you mentioned before, the, constant lies.
Yeah, but there's a really cute baby with lots of cute expressions in this episode.
It's true. Al takes off his shoes and socks and makes a puppet.
Oh, yeah, and he sings Pop Goes the Weasel, but he doesn't remember any of the words.
He tries to sing Pop Goes the Weasel.
And keeping with that, Sam and Al argue about whether Bunny is Christy's mom or not. Sam thinks she is, and Al thinks she isn't, because, well, this is the part I don't like, because it's the stripper's job to lie, and that feels a bit out of character from someone like Al, who really loves women so much that he would think that of all strippers. I don't know. What do you think?
Also, let's not forget Al probably married a stripper.
Exactly.
So he might be tainted in the fact that he believes that because he divorced a stripper. But also,
do you remember?
No, I'm just assuming. We don't have, I don't know if there is a firm. I will look again. We have to do a Calavici recap and find out about the history of Al Calavici. We should probably do it next week, because the season finale is it's a Calavici cavalcade.
Yeah, we could. Oh, all right. What noise? Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta be right back.
That's
I gotta go
fine.
find that noise.
No, that's fine. Go find the noise. But yeah, so it is. There is an interpersonal reality that is being pursued by Sam. And it's part of his virtue that finds the truth in the situation. I really enjoy it. And again, this may not be heavy in the science fiction. It's much more science fantasy. These are more morality plays. And sometimes it's about, I wouldn't. It's about a fish out of water who's looking at it from a third person perspective when it comes to all of these people's problems. And Sam usually has an open heart who tries to solve these problems with the trust that people are good. And also, Al is there to be an assistant and a judge of character. And so when it does come to these things, when you're dealing with many lying characters, as we are in this episode, it's like, well, what does your gut tell you? What can you see in their eyes? And that's something that Sam says here.
Yeah, this whole episode is just based on a bunch of people lying about what's really happening until the truth comes out.
Right. And making right what once went wrong. It's super faboo. I enjoy it. And so.
But in this case, Bunny is lying about things.
Lots.
But
she's not 26.
Oh, yeah, she's 30.
Liar.
She is impressed with the pillowcase diaper.
Yes. But also, I do think that strippers do present themselves as liking you more than they actually do.
Yes, and that is part of the act. They are sort of like actors. So I guess technically he's right that her job is to lie.
Yeah.
But
so
that she is a liar. Just being an actor doesn't mean that outside of your profession you are lying.
Well, I've worked with many people in the service industry and like more in like hospitality, restaurant. I've never been a stripper, but like, and there are customers that come in, guests, if you will, and they are regulars and they prefer certain servers, and the servers are not fans of the people who like them, but they still go and they do their job and they're nice to you. Just because they serve you doesn't mean they like you.
Right. Servers and people who work in retail, they often have to lie to make their customers happy, but they're not. It doesn't make them a liar out when they're not on the clock.
It helps.
That's what I'm saying. Oh.
Okay. Sorry. No, I'm not lying all the time. Not all the time. And oh, yes, Sam is admiring his Eagles tattoo across his chest.
No, Sam doesn't. He's not that enraptured by himself, actually.
No, he doesn't like his physicality. But
Bunny does.
Jay Borea would make an excellent gung ho if there was ever a live action G.I. Joe movie filmed in 1990. He looks like gung ho. All he has to do is shave his head.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And there's milk.
There's milk, heated.
So he finally confronts her and so she gets upset. She asks him not to hit her, and that was concerning at first, but fortunately Buster is not abusive. She admits finally that she's not the mother, and it took her almost 20 minutes to get here. We learned that Bunny was a caretaker for Christy. Well, at least that's what she's saying. She's lying about that. That's okay. If I don't say when she's lying, it's going to get really confusing.
Well, no, but this is so strange because this scene kind of confused me, and now that you've mentioned that she's a compulsive liar, I'm thinking that this was somewhat of a manipulation as well, because why would she employ Buster to assist her to do this if she thought he was not good with a baby, first of all?
She thought that he was good with the baby.
Right.
Because, she thought that he had lots of brothers and sisters that he brought up.
And as she presents here, she says, my daddy beat my mom and then moved on to me.
Right.
So I don't think that she would ask Buster, like pre-Sam leaping into him, Buster, to help her with this if he was abusive.
Right. Correct.
And so I think that she's saying, don't hit me, don't hit me, don't hit me, to literally play the victim and say, this is why I'm doing it, and sort of laying out a new path of lie to garner sympathy for herself.
I guess, but what she also says is that Reed hit her for finding out the secret, and the secret being that Christy's real mom is living in New Mexico, and her name is Margaret.
I'm not your real mom.
Margaret had been sending letters to beg for her baby back.
Baby back?
Yeah.
Baby back, baby back.
Yeah.
Baby back ribs?
So in this case, if we're to believe Bunny, then what they're doing is saving Christy from an abusive relationship that she's possibly going to have with her dad if she stays with him.
Yes.
And in that case, that turns out to be true in the end.
It does.
So it's important to say what is truth and what's not, because it gets very confusing otherwise. So Bunny's essentially rescuing Christy. So now it makes more sense. And Ziggy hasn't caught up with this yet, but he will later.
Well, and again, because we're still sort of sifting through the lies before we can get to the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and there is an undercurrent that Bunny is not capable of having children, and that's why she's attached. So there are shadows of maybe she is just kidnapping the baby.
Well, yeah, that comes up at the end.
Well, no, but even Reed says, Reed being the father of the child, says Bunny always wanted to go back to her family who lived in New Mexico. And so there are two sides to it. Although again, it's kind of an interesting cross-country kidnapping, Raising Arizona light story.
Yeah, I never saw Raising Arizona.
I hadn't seen it until very recently, but I within the last 5 years, and yeah, Oh, and
Big Bob's toy store.
they go to Big Bob's toy store, and Big Bob recognizes you're Bunny O'Hare, girl's a go-go.
Yeah. Oh, what's his actor's name?
I'm not sure. Let me check.
Because
it's Anthony Hopkins.
No,
I thought that's what it was. Ray Young.
Yeah, he was a Klingon in Deep Space Nine.
Nice. Oh, it looks like he played a Yeti.
But
he was in Coffee.
He died in 1999 of cancer.
Oh, he played Kumas in Star Trek Starfleet Academy, the video game. He was Morka in Deep Space Nine. Apparently a very good Klingon. Not a very prolific career, but he showed up when he did. He was on Highway to Heaven.
Yeah, so they're here. Sam wants a car seat, but they don't end up getting one.
No, but the one that they do look at, it is basically just a plastic tray with wiring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Al mentions that too. And so Al thinks that Bunny is playing Sam, and Sam is falling for it.
I'm playing you for a fool.
I think he says, she really bent your mind like a spoon.
There is no spoon. If I understand the Matrix. And so, yeah, this entire time Al is saying, like, you got to wake up. You should probably just give the baby back to the police, and do that. Like, just turn yourselves in. You might get a reduced sentence, but Sam is certain that whatever is happening with Christy is much more to do with Christy than it has to do with the repercussions for Buster and Bunny's breakout.
Yes. And he's following that instinct, and this shows the strength in Sam and Al's friendship because Al is still helping Sam get out of his mess here, even though he doesn't agree with him.
Yeah. So Sam gets Bunny's money. She apparently had she said she had $400.
Yeah, and then he buys a car with 210 of those dollars.
Right. And then I'm assuming he gives the change back to Bunny. But he goes and buys a hot rod with flames on it as a getaway vehicle.
That sounds really silly when you say it like that.
But that's what happened.
I like how this lady thinks she thinks that it's a murder that happened instead of a kidnapping. And shows what happens when witnesses view a crime.
Well, memory is not a reliable, or at least I think I heard that in a science fiction movie.
It was also a theft because Bunny steals a Barbie doll.
Yes, and the wedding ensemble. Strike.
You dropped a bunch of cans.
Thank you. And this is speaking of woke. And this isn't woke. This is just basic biology. Bunny is assessing. You know what?
Things are woke that are not woke.
I know, that's what makes it funny, because a lot of the things that people say are woke aren't woke. But yeah, no, this is assessing the physiology of the Barbie doll, and that the legs are twice as long as the torso. It doesn't make any physical sense. I'm going to talk about Barbie for a while. But yeah, no, it's not woke. It's just an assessment of the freakish nature of the Barbie doll physiology, but it's a doll. It's a representation. It's not necessarily meant to be a real life physical manifestation of the female human form. It's an idealization, and also I'm pretty sure it had something to do with the fact that her knees had to bend, and so they needed stronger plastic or something. I don't know. I didn't have Barbies. I had G.I. Joes and Star Wars, and actually, you know what? My favorite action figure was the Star Trek: The Next Generations by Playmates. You can go on your own away team mission if you go and buy all the Playmates figures from Star Trek The Next Generation. They didn't have any Quantum Leap action figures. Instead of rambling, I'm going to go see what's going on in the chat. Admiral Teague says, you may know Shirley MacLaine's brother as Warren Beatty. I didn't know that they were brother and sister. Yep. Warren Beatty was in it also, says Phantom Boomer. Thank you, Teague. I didn't know that Warren Beatty and Shirley MacLaine were related. Is that a real thing? I'm an idiot, I guess. Goodbot says, subscribe to Overlord DVD, better known as the Doomcock, in the center of the earth with his hand puppet Cthulhu. Actually, it's a real person named Harvey. Stream Element says to subscribe to Jim's Landscape Commodore Productions. Please do. Matt G's having a good time, which is dope. And Matt G has also conveniently linked Jill's Twitter. And thank you for that. Stream Elements, Gorilla's Random Thoughts. Gorilla's Random Thoughts, playing with Pop Culture Curator, PvP, and Anti-Derivative Jill on Monday nights for Lost in Space. And Gorilla's Random Thoughts and Pop Culture Curator do their show on Gilligan's Island on Wednesdays. And I know that Gorilla's Random Thoughts does other presentations throughout the week. I just don't have them off of the top of my head. I apologize. But if you'd like to learn more, you can subscribe. Phantom Boomer says, looking at the complete cast of Dobie, massive who's who of 50s character actors, who also lists Barbara Bain and Ellen Burstyn. I've never seen a young Ellen Burstyn. Matt G says, cat orange, whistling. Yes. Phantom Boomer says, Scotty, it worries me quite a bit that I thought of raising Arizona just before you spoke it. I must seek help. And Phantom Boomer says, my folks didn't believe in car seats. They just tied a rope around my ankle. My parents put me in the cup holder.
That doesn't sound like that's true.
I'm bigger than the cup holder. So yes, you caught me in a lie. I'm worse than Bunny.
You are not Tom Thumb.
No, I'm Scott Thumb.
So this
maybe, is baby, I'll have you. Maybe, baby, you. Anyway, so this is the next. Actually, you know what? I think that there was another song. Hang on a second. Let me grab my notebook because I think that there was another song.
Please do. Tell me about the songs. And they see a police car, so they're trying to avoid the police. They want to get to New Mexico. To bring the baby back to her real mommy. So
before this, we did get Runaway by Del Shannon.
I didn't, but you did.
Well, yes. In the original production presentation, it was Runaway by Del Shannon. And then we get to Maybe Baby.
Okay. And then here, this is also the scene where we realize Christy has asthma that needs to be addressed. So they take her to, of course, when you're trying to run away from the cops and you don't want to get caught, you take the baby to the veterinarian, right?
Of course.
Wait, babies aren't puppies.
I don't see a problem with this.
Really? Well, the only good thing about it is that Sam is a doctor and he knows how to treat the baby. He knows that the baby needs some epinephrine.
Yes. Well, and usually epinephrine is like you get an EpiPen for anaphylaxis.
Yeah, but the veterinarian, who's named Dr. T. Bean, doesn't have any epinephrine, but she does have coffee. So Sam gives the baby coffee to temporarily treat her asthma. And a quick search says that it does reduce the effects of asthma by 30%. And like he says, it's only a temporary fix. The Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America says Clinical studies have shown that caffeine is a weak bronchodilator, improving lung function for 2 to 4 hours after it's consumed. However, it's not as strong or fast as a rescue inhaler, like albuterol. I interchanged one of the words because I didn't want to say that word again.
But don't you think coffee would work better on a baby just because?
Well, just briefly, babies need medicine too.
No, I'm just saying as a temporary fix.
That's exactly what Sam's doing. It's only temporary, and luckily they only need it for a few hours just to get to Mexico.
Yes, Mexico.
Then they can tell Margaret, "Hey, this baby's got asthma. Take her to a doctor ASAP."
In 1960, oh well, no, in the last episode they didn't know what ASAP meant.
Yeah, we skipped that.
Yes.
How did we miss it?
Well, it was a throwaway line. What is ASAP? Oh, and there is a running gag that the portly policeman always has to pee.
Well, he shouldn't have had so much coffee.
I only had 2 cups.
And
quiet moment with Christy.
Yeah, that's great that Christy could sleep after all that coffee.
That's true. Maybe the crash was just that hard.
Yeah, right. And I'm sure what they actually were feeding the baby wasn't really caffeinated.
It was just chocolate.
I don't know. Ovaltine?
I don't. Ovaltine, yes. It was, it was like beef broth.
Yeah, that too. Well, every place is named Bob around here. Eddie Bob's, Longhorns.
Well, you live in Texas, is it?
No, every place is not called Bob.
Well, maybe it was in 1963.
That's true. I wasn't around then.
That's true. And I do like the map reading skills that go on here because they're trying to figure out how to use it. And it's like, well, if every pinky fingernail is 20 miles, we got 1.5 fingernails until we get to the state line between Texas and New Mexico.
Yeah, exactly.
So we got
fingernail math.
Yep. And hey, Lemon.
They say, okay, 2 fingers equal 40 miles. So 1 fingernail is 20 miles. And we're 1.5 fingernails from the state line. So we've got 30 miles to go. And hello to Lemon Pie. Oh. So they're out of money.
Which doesn't make any sense.
Right. The math doesn't work.
Well,
they didn't pay for the Barbie doll.
No, they stole the Barbie doll. They didn't take the car seat, as you mentioned, but also Bunny gave Buster all of her money. He gave $200. That means that he would have given the remainder back to Bunny.
Yeah, right.
So where did I just gave you, like, even if you thought
that doesn't account for $190, although she did have to buy milk and a bottle. That would have been like $10 back in those days.
If Bunny was shorting Buster, like they're in the cop car that they stole, by the way. Or no, they're still in. No, they haven't stole the cop car yet. Hey, wait a second, guys. They're going to steal a cop car. But yeah, no. So anyway, they're out of money inexplicably, and
well, there is a reason. It's because Bunny is a stripper, and they have to put it in the script that she's got to strip at least one time.
True. And this is where we get the song, The Stripper.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even get this song. It's such a generic song. And
I thought it was public domain.
I thought so, too. It sounds like a generic stripper song.
I was very surprised.
I didn't get to hear it.
Well, and also, I would have to say that stripping shows in 1963, pretty tame.
Yeah.
All you need is some balloons and a bra.
And it was even funnier for me because the music I had sounded like it came from a circus itself.
Doodle-doodle-doo, doodle-doodle-doo, doodle-doodle-doo-doo.
Yeah,
So anyway,
stuff like
but
that.
so she enters into the talent show. She strips with balloons, with circus music, and everyone at the bar seems to want to award the $50 so they can get gas to get to New Mexico. But and Al is actually rather upset because he shows up post show, and he says, "You mean she stripped?"
Right. Without me, I'm supposed to be the observer. I needed to be here for that.
I needed to observe that. And yeah.
And yeah,
But
but then
the fuzz.
yeah,
The fuzz
then
show up with Reed Dalton.
yeah, with the father.
And
Sam explains that they're just taking the baby back to the real mother in
baby
New
back?
Mexico.
Yes.
But
also,
Reed's story. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say in both of these episodes, we didn't talk about it in the last one, but both of these episodes have a bunch of Sam kick fighting. He's doing like the kung fu's.
Right. It is kind of unbelievable in this scene that Sam is able to handcuff all the police officers and take the baby back just by himself, basically.
Baby back.
Yeah. Now everybody in the chat wants to go to Chili's and they don't know why. We're not sponsored.
Well, no, not yet. So yes, there's this whole thing because they punch out Reed. They basically confine the police, and then this is why Al returned. It's like, you know what, Bunny's not lying.
Yeah, Ziggy finally figured it out. Ziggy figured out that Bunny is telling the truth, and oh dear, I have to go away for a minute.
So Bunny's telling
in the chat.
I do.
I'll be right back.
Bunny knows, or Bunny has been telling the truth in her own way. Like she's been sort of skirting around it to manipulate the situation so that she can get done what she feels is proper, what she feels is right. She's a stripper with a heart of gold. And we confine or restrain the local police, and but Reed has a gun, and so as Sam and Bunny run away with the knowledge that yes, Christy's real mother is in New Mexico, Clayton specifically. They're going to go there. Everything seems to be on the up and up. And Sam does ask the portly policeman, he's like, "Where's your car?" And he says, "Out back." Oh, geez. Because he's not very good. He's kind of a Barney Fife policeman. And so they run out the back, run out the door, the exit, as you can see. It's, you know what? Now that you mention it, that exit sign above the door does not look very 1963. I don't know about the neon lights either. I would very much have to know when those were introduced, but it doesn't look very 1963. I don't know. Please feel free to respond in the chat. And they run away, but Reed pulls a gun and starts shooting. He just starts blasting. And one of the policemen says, "You're shooting at the baby," because that's true. And Reed is like, "Shut up and get out of my way." And so he gets up and he's got the gun and he's like, "Shut up and get out of my way." We'll probably recap that when Jill gets back, because it's an exciting scene and it shows what kind of a dick Reed Dalton is. Apparently, Reed Dalton, it's a pseudonym. I can't get ahead in the plot. Phantom Boomer says, "Lemon pile." Lemon pile? Sorry, but pile! Lemon pie. Hail!
Hey.
Lemon pie says, "Hail, Mr. Phantom."
Right.
I kind of skipped ahead and I was talking about how Reed had a gun. Oh,
yeah. Reed had a gun and you're shooting at your baby. Yeah. That dude. That's how you know he's a bad guy. Like
Exactly.
You don't know if Bunny's telling the truth until you see Reed shooting at his own baby.
And then so they steal a police car.
Yeah. And then we learn that Reed is wanted in New Mexico for several crimes of whatever.
He was disbarred. He was a lawyer in New Mexico. He was disbarred, and it was a real estate scam. He bilked people out of millions of dollars or hundreds of dollars. I don't know. It's 1963. I don't know the conversion. And but he stole Christy after Margaret divorced him. She got sole custody, but he moved to Texas, changed his name. And that was because, again, you'll remember Bunny and Reed, they were dating. And so Reed let slip what the origin of Christy was. And Bunny had an obligation to return the baby to the mother, which is admirable. And that's where we are now.
Yeah,
we're
right.
Kidnappers.
And Reed's real last name is Cole.
Reed Cole.
The other name.
Dalton,
thank you. Not
Reed Dalton, attorney at law.
Yeah, so Bunny directs the police to the house that they're going to. They're going to Margaret's house so that the police will arrest Reed. And they do. And get an effect. What?
Well, they do. They arrest him. Like, they show up, and Sam is very
they recognize him immediately.
Yes. Arrest this man. He stole my child. But he has like warrants out for his arrest in New Mexico.
But this is really weird because you would think that they would want to verify Margaret's the mother because there's also a kidnapping. So let's not worry about the kidnapping. We're just so excited to get Reed Cole. We completely forget about the baby.
Well, and also he is in a stolen, like Buster is in a stolen police car, and he's holding a gun, like a stolen gun, to Reed.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not even just a kidnapping. He's also stolen a police vehicle. So Grand Theft Auto, stolen baby, stolen car. Let's not worry about it because the baby's back with their mommy.
Why is there like a sheriff in the house already?
Oh, they are?
Go back.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, okay. So that's to explain what I'm complaining about.
All right.
So he's going to take care of the kidnapping part to verify her as the mother. So there. Now I can't complain anymore.
Okay.
And yeah, this is another weird thing. That baby is not crawling yet. Maybe rolling around.
Can I get some water?
Yeah. I'll be right back to get some.
Yeah. So, but okay. So we essentially everything is resolved, and we'll wrap up with the denouement momentarily upon Miss Jill's return. Lemon Pie says, "Hello, Matt G, Admiral and Captain." I like how Matt G got top billing out of all of those ranks. Thank you. Thank you, Lemon. Phantom Boomer says the stripper is in the public domain, written by David Rose. Yeah, which is strange. Like, it's a very strange situation. If you get these episodes, and there have been sort of distribution methods that are like, oh, we don't know if we have the licensing for this particular song. Again, soundtrack for this episode alone is My Boyfriend's Back by the Angels, Runaway by Del Shannon, Maybe Baby by Buddy Holly, Dancing in the Streets by Martha and the Vandellas, and then True Love Ways by Buddy Holly and The Stripper, written by David Rose. It's quite the soundtrack for a single episode of television, but if you get like the rips or if you see them streaming, more than likely, Mill Creek is the only way to go in the physical media so that you can get the soundtrack of Quantum Leap in its entirety. Same thing happened to WKRP in Cincinnati. They couldn't release it on physical media until they secured the rights because it is a television show about a radio station, and what good is a radio station without the actual music. So it was a very difficult situation. I still have it on my wish list. I cannot wait to purchase. Lemon Pie says, shut up and get out of my way. This guy knows how to talk to people. Yeah, well, read Cole. He's a bit of a prick.
Yeah, especially to a police officer with a gun. Yeah,
yes.
Just get out of my way. Yeah, exactly. That's what happens.
But we do get the reuniting of Christy and her mother. What is this? Phantom Boomer. They were first introduced in 1910 by French inventor Georges Claude.
And
what were?
We find out what?
I don't know.
That's a good question. They were first introduced by a French inventor.
I don't know what you're referring to, Phantom Boomer, but we'll get back to this. Let's finish the episode.
Sure. Yeah, we can finish the episode. She asks, will the baby remember me? She'll remember you in her heart. Because that's the nice thing that Sam says. Instead of, no, you idiot, this baby is too young to remember anything. You don't form memories until you're 2 years old. I guess there's some people who claim they do have memories before 2, but it's rare.
Like Ray Bradbury. Ray Bradbury was famously quoted as saying that he remembers his own birth.
True. Yeah, there are some people who think that they remember their birth and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. And we get another leap that goes into an episode that we've seen before.
Yeah.
Do you think, and this is a weird question, but this is something that's sort of outside of the realm. Do you think that Sam actually leaps back into previous leaps?
Well, it's possible.
No, it's not, because
or it goes out of order.
No, and I was trying to be a little metaphysical with time travel.
It's not possible.
It's not possible because Al is there.
Yeah.
Al would be like, we did this.
You thought about this already, because I just started this question now.
No, I just came up with it. I asked and answered my own thing.
Oh, great. Oh, yeah. Okay, that used to happen to me in math class, and I would ask for help, and they'd come over, and I said, "Oh, I figured it out already." And the math teacher would say, "I'm glad I could help."
Yeah,
I'm glad I could help.
But that's the beauty of Al, and that's part of the thing that makes with the continuity. Although at the end of the episodes, when they go back to the reruns, whether it be network scheduling or whatever, it's just like, meh, I'm fine with it. I just sort of let it pass when we leap into a previous episode.
Oh, were there any other songs that I missed?
Well, I did explain the soundtrack to the episode. Would you like to hear the track list?
Yeah. Oh, did you already say it? If you already said it, we don't have to go over it again.
Well, no, you want to know.
It's just the last thing on my list here.
No, but okay. So the soundtrack for this episode is "My Boyfriend's Back" by the Angels, "Runaway" by Del Shannon, "Maybe Baby" by Buddy Holly, "Dancing in the Streets." Oh, right. I wanted you to be here for this. I'm glad you reminded me. "Dancing in the Streets" by Martha and the Vandellas, and yet that song had not been released when this episode took place.
Oh, so it was released after 1963?
Yes, I if I remember correctly, it was in 1964. And then the one that I had not heard before, and it was a beautiful song, was "True Love Ways" by Buddy Holly.
Yeah, I definitely didn't get that one. Neat.
Very soft song.
The only one I get is the title episode song, "Maybe Baby."
Yes. And the car radio plays the original 1964 rendition of "Dancing in the Streets" by Martha and the Vandellas, 16 months prior to its Motown release.
Too early.
Yes.
To be playing that song. Oh, I take it back. I did also get "My Boyfriend's Back" by the Angels because Bunny was singing it.
Yes.
And if the character acknowledges the song, I get to hear it.
Which is great.
So where were we in the chat?
Phantom Boomer says...
He says, Cole Reed Sounds very Texas also. Yeah, Reed is not a very common name, as Al says. And so he was able to cross-reference Reed. Anybody named Reed who married Margaret.
No, but Reed was his first name.
Yeah, that's right. Reed was his first name.
Cole, Reed.
He was Reed
Richards?
Reed Cole.
Reed Cole, attorney at law.
Lemon Pie says, we all have that name, Phantom, and it causes much confusion. But Phantom, you are right. It does sound very Texan. Cole, get out of the cup holder. Hey, that's throwback.
I'm a little person.
Oh, that's why you... Okay. See, I completely missed the entire bit and just came in at the cup holder part, so I had no idea what was happening.
No, we were talking about unsafe traveling situations for children, and I said that I was held I'm a little person in a cup holder.
Well, that's not far from the truth, because sometimes kids would sit in the middle, the little middle part where the cup holder was. And there was like a little part to sit on. It wasn't a real seat, but kids would sit there. I have. And this was in the 80s, so.
That's how we did it in the 80s, son. No, I used to roll around in the back of a station wagon. It was the best. We'd roll down the window. Whenever like whoever was driving the station wagon, we'd all roll up into balls and like we'd hug our knees and then just roll around the back of the cargo area of the station wagon. It was very unsafe. We were so happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you didn't know it was unsafe.
Oh, no. No one thinks they're going to die when they're 7.
No. Lemon Pie says, top billing. Geez, Scotty, don't go Hollywood on us. Yeah, see, I miss these conversations. I don't know what's going on. But subscribe to Cinema Gulp.
Please do.
Green Melon wants you to.
Just had a 7-year anniversary. Did the top 7 on 7. I was very inebriated. I apologize. It's a good time, though.
Mm-hmm. I still need to finish watching that. Shield Wall of Dragon says neon lights. Yeah. Some neon lights.
That doesn't seem very 1963 to me, or am I being out of date?
Phantom Boomer says 1910 neon lights.
Phantom Boomer corrected me. Thank you. I'll accept it.
Me too. Phantom Boomer also says Scotty wants billing above the title. Were you not getting billing that you needed billing?
No, I don't think I was complaining about that. Maybe I was.
Phantom Boomer says, oh no, Wuthering Heights. To be fair, Scotty being in a stream title can only help. That's true.
No.
Oh yeah. Okay, so
I don't like that idea.
I meant to put it on,
I didn't bring this up.
Time.
I didn't say anything about this. I don't know why. Did I?
I don't know. But
I don't think I did.
The chat is upset that you weren't given top billing. So this is my mistake.
That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. I'm just trying to extrapolate.
I'm going to have to re-listen to this.
But yeah.
Find out if I was being like, how dare I? What do you mean this is my dressing room? It's too small.
Your trailer doesn't have enough water bottles.
I only wanted brown M&Ms. Shield Wall of Dragons, ahoy.
He can only go back, not forward, right?
Correct. Sam Beckett can only travel within his own lifetime.
Yeah, right.
Good to
and
see
that
you,
even when he's in the womb, it counts. So as long as he's been conceived,
yeah,
he can travel to that time.
True story.
Phantom Boomer says, Reed Cole Reed, tomato. And we only had bench seats when I was an infant. There was no center console. Those were hard times.
No, they were great. You could be a little kid and mess with the radio.
If I name all my uploads after Scotty, will I get more views?
Less. I wish I could help. It wouldn't, I don't know.
Lemon Pie says, Scotty didn't feel Matt G deserved top billing. In a hello chat I wrote.
Oh, is that what I did?
Oh.
I was trying. Like, it's always... Anyway.
I
when it comes to reading chats, like, let's say Lemon Pie says, at Scotty, here is what I was talking about. Like, that I try and do that. If I'm dismissing people in my billing, if my credits are invalid, I apologize for being in error.
Yeah, but we watched Quantum Leap. We haven't done that in forever.
True story.
Seems like an eternity. And so I'm so happy we did.
Well, and it's so nice to get back to a show that it's not a matter of like analyzing it, and it's not. I'm not anticipating it to just punch me in the face for sucking.
Yeah, no, these are even though they're very simple storylines, they're not convoluted. They tell you exactly the kind of story they want to share with you. Sometimes they have a message, sometimes they don't. The first one, the trapeze artist, I guess it's Sam had to overcome his fear of heights.
Oh, is that the one with a lot of vagina?
Yes.
Nice.
And then this episode, Sam followed his instincts and trusting Bunny had Christie's best interest at heart, and he turned out to be correct. So Sam's instincts won out over Ziggy's computational data points. So heart over, I guess, the cold computations. But that's not always going to be the case. Sometimes the cold computations win.
Yes.
So I don't know really if this episode had a message other than just being a save a baby episode.
Well, I think it was a test of Sam's character, his trust, and whether or not he should, again, as you said, the cold computations. Do you follow that, or you follow what you learn from the emotions of the individuals that you're affecting? And again, it makes it science fantasy. It gets it to be a little bit of a soap opera, but it's always an attempt to make right what once went wrong. And it's not revenge, and it's not the world's gonna end. It's like this little girl, this baby girl, should be with her mom. That's what we're doing this week. Who are the characters who are going to make us do that?
And there were no outright villains or anything. The dad in the first one was definitely not a villain. He was just warning in a very unhealthy way.
Right.
And this father, he was abusive, so I guess he was a villain a bit. But in his own way, I guess he cared about. I don't know. No, he shot at the baby. No, he sucks. Throw him in jail.
He did. He shot at the baby, and he stole a bunch of people's money in New Mexico and moved to Texas and changed his name. Guy's an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I apologize, Lemon. No, I misinterpreted. I apologize.
Okay, see, I was confused too. Lemon Pie says, no, Scotty, you said, oh, you put Matt G at top billing Lemon Pie in my hello chat, and you seem to imply that I should.
Oh, no, I didn't. No, okay, no, now I remember. Okay, so Jill, when Lemon Pie showed up, it was like Matt G, Admiral and Captain. So referring to Admiral Teague and Captain Infinity. And I just thought it was funny that the person without a rank structure was put first in the list, because I would have, and again, incorrect, because I think Matt G deserves top billing. But I just thought it was funny because there were two specific rank structures, and Matt G got to go first when the two people who have the rank structures, but it did go in proper succession, if you will. From Admiral to Captain, like that's the logical process. If you had said Matt G, Captain, and Admiral, I probably wouldn't have said a thing.
Oh, okay. You were thinking about rank, and
I was thinking about an order of operations is what I was concerned with. And so if I've made everyone uncomfortable, that's usually what I do, and you're welcome.
Yeah, I think it's just a bit of confusion. Oh. Lemon Pie says, it doesn't matter now. I really just want to know if Scotty still rides in the cup holder.
I do. Big cups nowadays.
Lemon Pie says, oh, right. Yeah, and they have some of those cup holders where you can take out the divider, so there's more room.
Yeah, and that's when I get to put my feet up.
Lemon pie says, Phantom, not at all. I am just clarifying for Jill. Oh, okay. Nobody's upset. It was just confusing.
I'm not one bit upset until it's all in good fun. Good.
Good. Yeah, I know that. I was just giving Scotty billing over you just for a tease. Oh, right. Okay, subscribe to Mark D with the C. Actually, if you want to go see where Mark D with the C is right now, he is hanging out with Clobburn Times over on the Clobburn Times channel. Go check them out at Clobby's Clubhouse. He and Raquel, I'm sure they're having fun over there, being awesome. So
see, it's so funny.
Awesome too.
It's so funny. People talk about how Stream Elements sort of slights you. And usually Stream Elements is all about RM Briggs, but I haven't seen a single RM Briggs.
Well, yeah, also remember to buy RM Briggs book. No,
there you go.
Her books are great. Stories rather. Stories compiled into one book. Really fun.
From what I understand, you can get them on paper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you've ever wondered what would happen if Earth were visited by aliens for real, she comes up with a really neat little story. A set of stories. Yeah, little stories. They're short stories.
Fair enough.
Stories. Short.
No, I didn't mean to go all Worf and Defiant on you. I'm sorry.
And they're short stories all in one universe. Really fun. Lemon Pie says, Phantom, you flew over my head with that one. Good job. Me too. And Shield Wall of Dragon says, remember that in the Federation, president is a civilian.
Representation across the Federation. You got to have a member, a representative from each world be president at some point.
Yeah, right. And there are 150 worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Well, and by the time you get to the 25th century, I guess. Mm-hmm. Well, like the president of the Federation. Never mind. We'll talk about this on the politics of the Federation.
Hey, man, that's the filth.
We'll man. No, I was going to talk about Star Trek 4.
Oh, Star Trek 4. Oh, you're right. Okay, then you're okay. You can talk about Star Trek 4.
Because the Star Trek president, the Federation president in Star Trek 4 was human, as far as I could tell. And then in Picard season 3, it was Anton Chekhov.
Right. That's what I was thinking. And so I need to forget all about what just happened in the past 10 weeks. And
but I like Walter Koenig. I
love Walter Koenig. He's wonderful.
And subscribe to Clobburn Times.
Yes.
They're doing stuff right now.
Yeah, they're doing stuff right now. It's so exciting.
If you're on the rerun, go subscribe. You'll be able to find the similar broadcast.
Star Trek for what?
Star Trek for what? Star Trek for what? Well, that actually leads us very nicely into what we're going to be talking about tomorrow on the Friday.
Right. But speaking of Star Trek, Jim's Landscape makes Star Trek ships in CGI. That's the bulk of my knowledge of what he does.
Well, he does unboxings. He does produce videos.
Films, right?
Yeah.
Cool stuff. And yes, on tomorrow we're going to be talking about Star Trek 6. So I'm going to head out of here so I can go watch Star Trek 6.
Yeah, me too. And then Lemon Pie says, Jill, Scotty, or Scotty, Jill. Thank you for the stream.
You're welcome. It feels so good to talk about something really good.
It's nice to be able to hang out with characters that we love. It's nice to be able to have these like just feel good episodes, and we're gonna get into some more. Like these are I still really enjoy this, and for every episode that we didn't review over the last 10 weeks, I'm super jazzed that we get to come back to it now, because I hate when things are over, and so that just sort of got to extend it a little bit more, and we'll be back on someone's channel next week talking about Quantum Leap.
Yeah, somebody's going to host this show. We're going to have it no matter what.
Yeah, because we really enjoy it, and we're happy that you guys do as well. We don't have any closing music, so it doesn't really matter who says "oh boy." Do you want to say "oh boy"?
Oh, right. We don't have any closing music. Oh, I can just play.
You can play a trailer because we're going to be doing Star Trek.
Oh, but I don't have a Star
Tuesday.
Trek 6 trailer, though.
Oh, wait. I wonder.
Oh, but you're right. I could play the trailer for Amok Time.
No, but wait. I want to do this because this is one of my favorite trailers of all time.
Okay, wait. Don't do it yet. I have to say, oh boy.
You do have to say, oh boy. No, I'm not ready. I just
ready.
thought of it just now. So I got to find it and then share my screen.
Okay. Fine.
So give me a second. If you want to say "oh boy" a bunch, then I'm sure that will be an ASMR for a bunch of people.
Oh boy.
No, don't do it, Jill. Seriously, don't do it unless you want to subscribe to the OnlyFans. Wait a second. Where are we here? All right.
So Phantom Boomer says Lemon, Jill, Stream Elements, Cap, Teague, Shield. Nice to chat with you. Oh yeah, you too, Scotty.
Hey, I'm in the list. That's good.
Have a good one, says Shield Wall of Dragons. We will. We're going to have a great night. I can feel it.
Here we are. I don't have to show those tips again. And I will. Here we are. There it is.
Oh, really?
Do I mute? I will allow.
Sure. I'll mute too. But
well, no, I don't know. We have to find out if there's music. We have to find out. Can you hear it?
I cannot hear it.
Well, it hasn't made noise yet.
Don't forget Scotty's cup holder.
Can you hear it?
No, I cannot.
Oh, okay.
You forgot to share sound.
No, but there was no click button to share sound. So hang on a second. I'm going to try something else. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to make you...
Put the link in the private chat.
I should probably hit the stop share. I'm putting the link in the private chat.
There, and then then I could play it.
Then you can play it. But this is honestly one of my favorite trailers of all time.
Okay. Hopefully I don't get a copyright claim, but if I do, I'll just cut it out later.
It's an advertisement for a movie.
So yeah, it's an advertisement for a movie. And if I end up having to cut it out later, it's you guys who are here live right now that get to hear it. But anybody on the replay might not get to hear it. So
probably not.
Let's see.
Oh boy.
And I'm not ready.
You're not going to say
"oh boy" this time. No, I'm not ready yet. I got to share the video.
All right,
You're
fine.
totally not ready here.
All right. Well, next time. Next time we'll do this in an organ.
Be prepared.
Whatever. This is so much fun. It's so discombobulate. Swiss cheese brain. We need Al. Where's Ziggy? Gushy.
Slides. What is this?
Slides? What? I just assume that you blink and you've seen all of these things, and so you're just transmitting the images with mind bullets.
Mind bullets. Sounds like a Tenacious D song.
It is from a Tenacious D song, you vixen.
Oh boy.
It's from Wonder Boy. The Undiscovered Country.
Yes, thank you.
I hope that we didn't get a copyright strike, Jill.
Well, I'm sure. Well, it'll just be a claim. It'll be fine. I'll cut it out later.
All right, it'll be whatever.
Hey, hello to Darius Munchausen.
Darius!
We're already all done here, but I think I'll play the trailer for Amok Time too. Why not?
Amok
Leave
Time.
something for the people who couldn't see the trailer because it got claimed.
Because we had to cut it out. You're welcome for that, by the way. That was my idea. Thank you for having dead space in the middle of your broadcast.
No, it'll cut out the whole thing, so there won't be a dead space.
All right. Well, then, oh boy.
Captain's log, stardate 3372.7. First Officer Spock seems to be under stress.
If I want anything from you, I'll ask for it.
You don't get him to Vulcan within a week, 8 days at the outside, he'll die.
I await you. Who is she?
My wife.
chooses the challenge. Thee will choose thy champion.
This one.
This combat is to the death.